Hey guys, Sans Gamer here, and welcome to the archive. Today we're going to be discussing what it's like to have a job. Now, as you guys know, well, some of you might not know this, but I work at a KFC. Now, KFC isn't really the worst job to have, except if you hate dealing with the public and the customer. I personally don't hate the customers. It's just when they decide to get real bitchy is when it pisses me off. So, I'm gonna get into that as I'm gonna explain a few things, like a few stories of my job and what happens there. So, I'll start off with when I was working front counter. Certain situations will happen from time to time where customers will complain, being like, I got the wrong order, or my food's cold. Oh, my food's burnt. Actually, one time a lady threw the chicken right into the back. Like, it wasn't even funny. Um, yeah, that honestly was not funny when that happened. And then my manager came up and said that they would make chicken fresh, which, honestly, at that point, I would just I wouldn't make fresh chicken. I would make what would be I would be like, okay, this is what's gonna happen, lady. You're gonna follow the take it or leave it policy. It means you get your chicken, or you see the door, you fucking leave. That's what I would say. Because, again, if it was my store, my rules, I would say it's the take it or leave it policy. Take the food how you leave it. But yeah, shit like that would happen, and there's actually a really interesting story that happened at my KFC. So we were prepping for the morning shift. I, of course, was on morning shift. Um, and some guy, I guess, I didn't notice it at the time. I was back sleeping and mopping. Some guy crashed into the window, like he full on sped. And luckily, we were all in the back when this happened, or one of us would have gotten hurt. And when the cops showed up in the ambulance, you know what the guy said? He's like, he was an old guy, by the way. Like, oh, sorry. Um, I thought the accelerator was the brake, and then the cops, I guess, let him get away scot free because I haven't heard what happened to him. Uh, so yeah, if working at KFC is kind of not really that fun. I I honestly, in my opinion, would not recommend working at a KFC. Well, in where mine is at due to video reasons, and also a picture of the car crash will pop up. So what else do I got? Ah, Karens are next. Yeah, I had to deal with a couple. So I only had to deal with two Karens in my whole life. So Karen number one was when I was doing my manager role there. So I was just up front minding my own business. A big lady walked. You would notice her a mile away. She also might have looked a bit ginks. So what happened was, she walked in asking about the buffet because our KFC had a buffet, but it was shut down due to when COVID, or the cough, as we're calling it, set in. And I was like, the buffet was closed, and then she just got all bitchy at me. I'm telling you, she was a fat ass. I'm not gonna lie, she was a fucking fat ass. Biggest. I'm sorry if I'm judging fat people here, but she was, and that's how pissed I was. I wanted to call her names, but at some point it got to the point where she was like, "Give me your manager," and then I'm like, "I legally have to go get my guys." Every job place, you got to learn this. Every job place you work at, you have to go get your manager. That's what I did. I went to go get my manager, and happily she was right. She was surprisingly, she was right behind me, and I'm like, a customer wants to talk to you, and I guess they talked for a bit. And it got to the point somewhere there. They were like, "Oh, I want a refund," even though they didn't fucking pay for anything. I don't think. Because again, I wasn't paying attention up there really. So, the second time that this happened, or was like I had to set my food there, right, because we were like packing shit. Then the lady walks up and is like, "My food's been sitting there for a while. I think it's cold. You're gonna have to make me new food." And I'm like, "Bitch, again, guys, you gotta realize this: the take it or leave it policy. Take it or leave it policy." And I'm not gonna really say much about it. Again, remember, take it or leave it policy. Take it how it is, or get the fuck out. And that's when we had the like KFC wraps and stuff. This happened. And I'm like, okay, I'll make you new food. And as I was doing so, she's like, "Let me talk to your manager." Literally in that tone, it was like that. And I illegally, I have to go get them if they ask. So I moseyed on to get my manager. Then they talked, and then he said he was going to make the food fresh. We did that, and then they left all pissy. And then, yeah, no, it's just that's just the part of KFC I don't like is where they bitch. People bitch, and it's not fun. Honestly, I feel like okay, this is how I feel about jobs. I feel like workers should have the right to stand up for themselves. Like some have to take people's shit. Like me, I have to take people's shit when they get shit, which is rare to happen where people do. It's really rare for it to happen. Like when it does happen, I feel like I defend myself and not just be like, "Oh yeah, sorry, sir. I'm yeah." That's literally how I'm like when they get shitty. And if I had the option to go off on a customer, I would, but I can't because I have to keep my job. So my idea, like to like solve this like problem where some people don't feel like they can stand up for themselves, it's like okay, you should be like, and or you should also have the right to walk away. Walk away, like that's what I would do too. Because I've only done it once, and I didn't know if I got in trouble for that. I walked away from a customer because I could not deal with them. I could not deal with them, so I walked away, ignoring them completely. Didn't even notice they were there. So that's all for Working Works. So if you guys like the archive so far, please subscribe, and I'll talk about more stuff like this. And yeah, that's it. So see you guys in the next one. Peace.